me as you're coming in? Hello? Can y'all hear me okay? Yep, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Thank you. Hello. Hi, Tarina. Hi, Landon. Hi, Ben. Hi, Shayna. Hi, Columbus. Hi, Samira. Hi, Elijah. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Who else do we got here? We're going to wait a little bit of time. If you are just coming in from another class, you can take a couple minutes, just kind of stretch. I'm not going to start for like another minute. I'm going to wait for people to come in. If you need to go get like a drink of water or something like that, or go ahead and do that now. But it's wonderful to have you all join on Tuesday. Let's see. I think we have just a couple more people coming in. Hi, Efwa. Hi, how are you? Good? Wonderful. So tell me something. When you're joining your Zoom calls, can somebody tell me if they're like back to back? Because I've been hearing like you guys are going from Zoom call to Zoom call. Is that what is happening? Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So for me, I want to make sure that you guys have enough time to kind of get yourself ready, to kind of make sure that you're okay. I'll probably start pushing back my meetings till like 10, like 33, like, you know, give you a couple minutes to kind of get yourself together. Does that sound okay? Yeah. Who's ELA? Who is that? Oh, it's Katie. Hi. Hi, Katie. Hi, Bryce. How are you? Come on in. I was just telling some of your people, your classmates, that I'm just going to kind of wait a couple minutes because I've heard that you're jumping from class to class on Zoom meetings. So I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of time to enter in, get yourself kind of situated, get yourself in the right frame of mind. So we'll probably, for the next couple Tuesdays, we'll start at like 10:33. So you don't have to like really quickly jump in somewhere. So I'll give you some time to kind of prepare for that. Sound okay? All right. So I think we're all here. Whoever is going to be here is going to be here right now. So I want you to see if you can click on the link that I put in the chat. Just kind of tell me how you're feeling today and if you were able to test out your USB. If you still don't know what a USB is, I will show you what that is in just a minute. But can you take a quick minute and fill that out and tell me how you're feeling today and if you've tested out your USB. Give you about a minute to do that. You don't see the link? Oh, hold on. I don't want to go to everybody in the waiting room. Let me see if I can. There we go. Sorry, I had it clicked on everybody in the waiting room. Everybody in the meeting. How about you do that, Ms. Ashford? Let's do that. There you go. Try that now. Do you see it now? Cool. Awesome. Take about a minute. Tell me how you're feeling and if you've tested out your USB, because that's going to be really important in the next couple weeks when I start sending out robotics kits to y'all. All right. So as you're doing that, I'm going to share my screen and show you what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to do a presentation on the EV3 system. So last week we were talking about like what is a robot, and thank you so much for those of you that have responded to the articles and have done your intro to robotics quiz. Those should be coming back to you on Google Classroom. If it didn't come back to you yesterday, it should come back to you today. I'm finishing up looking through those. So make sure you look for it. So I'm going to present this. Okay. All right. So as I said before, I need to make sure that you all have USBs that are working on your computers. If you don't, that is perfectly fine. I just need to know before I give you a kit, because either we can give you a computer from another computer from school that has a working USB, or I can give you an iPad to have your kit work with it. So the problem that I was running into when kind of thinking about how do we get out a kit for you to kind of build with is your computers, if you have a school computer, do not have the capability to download the software. So if you took the robotics class last year with Mr. Lane, you'll know that some of those laptops had software on them, right? They had the program and you can program it and then plug it into your computer and you're ready to go. Your Chromebooks don't have that capability. Hi, Bemnet, come on in. Oh, all right, somebody else is coming in. So they don't have, your Chromebooks do not have that capability to download that software. So how we're gonna work around that is there is a web-based programming system that we're gonna use. And I'll show you that. I'll do a screen share later on this week and you'll get to see that. But you need to have a working USB port on your computer for that to actually work, okay? So just so we're all on the same page, why I'm asking you about your USBs. So let's get into talking about the EV3 system. Give me a thumbs up if you've ever worked with the EV3 Lego system before. All right, see a couple people. Yep. No, okay, cool, thank you. And that's okay, because if you, hello? Who was that? No. If you have worked with the Lego We Do kits like we had in STEM class, it's not similar, but it is similar at the same time. Okay, so it has this wonderful brick that I'm going to explain about in just a second, but you build and you add things to it just like you do with the We Do system. So going on here. So as we said before from last week, there are many different kinds of robots and they do those different jobs, the dirty, the dangerous, the dull, and also delicate. I didn't add delicate on there, but the ones like we were talking about like surgery robots, those are the delicate kind of robots that you have. And so the EV3 has 3 different kinds of platforms that we're going to be looking at. So the EV3 system itself has the hardware, which is the brick and the sensors and everything else that goes along with it, the gears, the pegs, and the beams that we're going to talk about. The software, which is the programming that you are going to do. So software is the programming. And then the firmware is what is uploaded on the actual brick from Lego itself. So those are the 3 different systems that we have that we're going to be looking at. I have already gone through and updated all the firmware on all the bricks. So you don't have to do that when you get your Lego kit, all right? You're responsible for interacting with the hardware, the sensors, the wheels, everything that you're going to actually add to the brick and build. And then also the software, the programming. So those are the only 2 things that you're going to be interacting with. So basically, the firmware is being told what to do by the software that you code, and then that makes the hardware, the wheels, the sensors act somehow. Make sense? All right. So you're going to get your kit, and inside your kit, you're going to have all the different pieces. So you're going to have like the beams, which are these guys, the pegs, all the different gears, all the different sensors. And I'm going to go through what the sensors are in just a second if you're not familiar with the kit. And it is really important that when you get these kits, you need to keep all the pieces in a secure location. So if you have a younger brother or sister or a younger person that is living with you, make sure that these kits are out of their way. We want to make sure that everybody has a chance to have a full kit when you get them. All right. So going on from here. So these are the different sensors and motors that you're going to get in your kit. So you're going to get 2 large motors that turn. So these guys right here. All right. You're going to get 1 servo motor, which is kind of a medium rotation motor. And then you're going to get 4 different kinds of sensors. You're going to get 2 of the touch sensors that are these guys, and they work by you touch and it pushes in and it recognizes that something touches it. You also get a gyroscopic sensor, and the gyroscope, it actually senses what angle, and it helps the EV3 do some very accurate turns. Okay, and we'll talk a little bit about the gyro sensor in a little bit. Then you get an ultrasonic sensor, which measures distance. So ultrasonic is, it sends out a sound wave at a frequency that we can't hear. And then that frequency bounces back and it talks to the sensor and tells how far away something is. So the amount of time that it takes for the sound to bounce off a wall to get back to the sensor, that is how the sensor tells how far away something is. Okay. And then you have the color sensor. The color sensor works by sending out light. And so to our eyes, it'll look white, but it's cycling through 3 different colors. It's cycling through the red, the blue, and green, red, blue, and green. And so at a very fast rate, it looks white to us. But when something reflects back red, the color sensor says, oh, that's a red thing, that's a red color. And then if it reflects on something blue, the color sensor senses it that it's blue. All right. And then I think that's it. So we did touch sensor, color sensor, ultrasonic sensor. Yep, that's all. And all right, I think we're going to go on from this screen. So when you're building with the EV3, you are going to have inputs and outputs. And that's going to be on your vocabulary document that I'm going to explain later on too. So the sensor are these imports right here, the A, B, C, and D, okay? Or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the sensor input ports. So whenever you want your EV3 to sense something, you're gonna plug one of the cables in to that port. And when you're programming the software, you need to make sure that you recognize what port you are actually plugging it into. So these different ports, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to make sure it's not programmed for 1, and if you're plugged in 2, your EV3 is not going to work. Okay. The output is the A, B, C, and D ports at the very top. That's going to be if you plug in one of your motors, if you want one of your motors to work, if you want the servo to work, you're going to plug them into the output. So the output is the action. So remember we were talking about the actuators, the things that we're doing the action. That is your output. So the action is your output. All right. I feel like I'm talking so fast. If you really want me to slow down, you can put something in the chat box and tell me to slow down. But I'm just trying to get through a lot of information pretty quickly. Right now, we don't have to worry about the USB port for Wi-Fi or the memory expansion. You are going to plug in the USB on your computer. So from the actual brick itself, there's a little plug and you're going to get a cord and it's going to plug into your computer. So if you don't know what the USB port is, you can see on the side of your computer that there is something that kind of looks like this. So this is a USB and you plug it into the side. It's like a rectangular input space. So if you're not familiar with USB, you hear my son in the background. Anyways, so on the actual brick itself, you also have the navigation buttons. You have the center button, that is your enter. So you turn it on and it takes about 30 seconds for it to power up. So if you're seeing this red for a long time when you get your kit, don't worry about it, it'll come up. All right. And then the navigation buttons are up, down, left, and right. And then you have the back button, which is this little gray button right here. All right. So might see how it's still starting. Okay. All right. So that's all I have about the brick and the different sensors and the different parts. Do you have any questions? You can put them in the chat if you, oh, there, see, there it goes. If you have any questions about the different parts that we talked about. Okay. All right. So, stop share. All right, so I'm done sharing my screen for that. So later on this week, what I'm going to show you is a screencast of me using the software program on the computer to actually control the brick. All right. And so I really want you to watch that and pay attention to what I do, because it's going to take a lot of dragging and dropping files on your computer to get your actual robot to work at home. Okay. All right. Let me see. What's the next thing that I wanted to tell you about? Oh, so your assignment for today and your assignment from today till Friday is to do a vocabulary document for the different vocabulary what we just talked about. So input, output, gyro sensor, the ports, servo, can't remember, there's one more. Let me see if I can share my screen with you so I can show you the Padlet. All right, so there we go. Let me share my screen with you. So you should see a Padlet right now. So the EV3 vocabulary, and you're going to do a 4 corners assignment. So you're going to, can you still see my window with the vote? Okay, thank you, Shayna, for confirmation. So you're going to do a 4 corners vocabulary document for each of these different words. So definition, a sentence that you're going to use it in, a synonym is what means the same. So what word or phrase could actually mean the same? So for example, an actuator could be something you interact with, because actuator, think about the word interact and actuator. Think about how similar they sound. And then you're going to insert an image from Google that shows what that actual word means. So you can copy and paste an image into these squares. Okay. Anybody have any questions about your assignment for the Google vocabulary? Can everybody give me a thumbs up? You say one more time. Everybody good? Thumbs up if you understand how the vocabulary assignment's going to go. Cool. All right. So I am pretty much done for the day. The thing that you need to look out for later on this week is the screencast on how you're going to work with your robot. Then after next week, the first set of people are going to get their Lego robot kits. And so be excited for that, because I'm excited to send them out to you. Anybody have any questions before we leave for the day? Cool. All right. Well, there's also videos on classwork on Google Classroom. So the different materials that you have that talk about the brick, talk about the sensors, talk about how gyro sensors work. So I want you to watch those. But I hope you all have a great rest of your day.